Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you that you have chosen to be here, not in the swimming pool, not in the sea. So you're really heroes today. If you're a little bit tired of some technical topics, then you can relax for 20 minutes. It won't be any rocket science or something like this. So my name is Svetlana Gulis. I'm lead business analyst at the R&D department. And today I'm going to talk about the BA Kung Fu. And you can ask, why Kung Fu? So you can see the belt here. Me personally, I practice Kung Fu. And when I was thinking about what topic to choose, BA Kung Fu came to my mind, and I decided that they have much in common. So this is the first belt. I have just finished the first class in Kung Fu, yes. Thank you. And to move forward in Kung Fu, you have to achieve another belts. The highest one is white one, not like in karate. And when you move forward, when you achieve the next levels of Kung Fu, sometimes you learn the same exercise that you learned when you was in the first class. But you acquire new keys to those exercises that help you to be more efficient when you're fighting, in understanding your enemies, and so on. So that is why today I will tell you about those keys in business analysis that can help you and will help you, I'm sure, to move to the next levels of the business analysis. So let's go. About the agenda. So tips are the keys, yes, for the exercises, but here for doing the right BA. At first, I will tell you a little bit about the basic tips in business analysis and in how to succeed. Then a little more specific tips on product development and requirements. Then we will talk a little about the communication, and then I will sum up everything that we will cover today. So let's move on and talk about basics. So the first thing that I would like to advise, the name of our position is called business analyst, but it doesn't mean that you are only about business, because we work in the IT, and we all need to know IT terminology, the basic understanding of how computer science works. We all work with applications, and you need to know how those applications work on the background, what is client-server application, what is API, and so on. You should also be aware of project methodologies, because it also influences the way the BA approach will work on this or those projects. Here I'm talking about Agile, Waterfall, and we will speak about Agile, Scrum, Kanban. You should understand the differences. You should know why they were discovered and for what. And you should understand which business analysis approach to choose while working on this or those projects. And if you have any gaps in these two topics, keep learning. I have forgotten to tell you that while we will be moving from section to section, I will also tell you about the risks that you may face in case you don't follow the tips that I will share with you. So the next basic tip is about planning and about risks. If you are not project manager, it doesn't mean that you don't need to think about plans and risks. Experienced business analysts, they should know how to plan their work. And here also I will add a couple of words about Kung Fu. If you maybe know, there are 5 elements in Kung Fu: earth, fire, water, air, and wood. And 5 animals, I think you know. So, and when you see your enemy, You need to choose the style of your fighting and how to do it. You need to analyze your enemy, how do they move, and so on, and to choose the appropriate style to fight him or her or them. So, for example, if your enemy is fire, you should choose the earth, like the snake, style to beat them. So here's the same. To be able to plan a business analysis approach correctly, you should know and understand the methodology of the project, the type of the project. Is this outsource or product development? Its complexity. Also, sometimes the contract type, is it fixed price or time and material, or like self-development, own products, and the risks. By knowing these facts, you can choose the right way to plan. And you also should be aware of estimating the business analysis work. What tasks do you need to perform to create a project, to launch the feature, right? And you should communicate this information with your project managers. So you and your project managers, you work together. And you should also identify risks. Business analysis, they work with a lot of amount of stakeholders, and a lot of risks come from the communication with stakeholders, from the third parties, from the vendors, and so on. So that is why it's your responsibility to highlight the risks that you see in the project that can interfere its success and communicate it to your project manager. So, and the risks that you may face, that your product may face, in case you don't follow these basics. You can face scope, budget, or time creep. The goals of your product or project may not be achieved. You may face some conflicts with stakeholders and the fall in the reputation. When I say reputation, I mean personal or teams or company's reputation. So we have finished with basics, and now let's move on to more specific tips about product development. The first tip is know your product. Know what it was created for, who are its users, why it really was created, and what do they do. Also know the functionality. I think the business analyst should be the source of information about how their product works for all other team members and stakeholders. And you should also have some place describing how the functionality works. So if you don't remember, you can always open the wiki and see the description. Also, you should know the basics about the architecture of your product. And as I have already mentioned, always update the documentation. If you change something in your product, go and just do it, go and update, because other people may then, so you understand, I think. So the next one is about goals, not solutions. When somebody comes to you, for example, a product owner or customers with new requests for new features, always ask for the justification of this request. And not just in words, but it would be great if they tell you about some metrics that they want to increase or decrease by implementing these or those features. Solution. When we come to discussing the solution with the team, as we are all overwhelmed with a lot of tasks and so on, you may be a person who can stop and ask your team, is it really the best solution? And why? And can we make it cheaper? So these are the questions that are also about money, about business, and it is also important to discuss with your team the best solution when we speak about scope, time, budget. Try it yourself. This is for me, very, very useful tip. while discussing new requests from stakeholders, if you have this possibility, ask them to share their screens and show where exactly they have some problem with functionality. They usually come with functionality that something they want to improve. Ask them to share their screen and see the flow, the process that they implement in their real lives, where they face these problems. And then try to test it yourself. So put yourself in others' shoes. And in this case, often the problem may be not in the product functionality, but in the process of doing these or those tasks. And the risks here about goals, solutions, what we may face, wrong problem definition and goal definition that may cause alterations, changes, insufficient solutions, budget waste, and falling team motivation. Because if team implements something that people won't use at all, or I think that it really causes the fall in motivation. So for people, it's very important to do something that has value for other people. So the next tip is be specific. As we work with applications that are about code on the back side, don't use such words that you see in this cloud in order not to cause a lot of questions to yourself, in order to your requirements look nice, and just to be specific in order not anyone to see ambiguity in your requirements and similar problems. Instead of sounding words, visualize. If you have a chance to substitute 4 sentences with one diagram, draw diagrams. Developers love diagrams, people love images, and so on. And we work in products that are interconnected. Our teams are interconnected. And that is why it's so important to draw diagrams which show how these or those modules work together. Yes, it will be very evitable and comfortable for the team and your development team and other teams in the company to understand what is going on. Non-functional requirements, it's a pain topic, I think, for many business analysts. It's about the quality of the product. And not about what the product should do, but how it should do its work. And here my personal advice would be not to be scary of this type of requirements, but just create a template of a set of questions. They are almost the same for each feature, for each product, and just have it somewhere and ask your stakeholders anytime you have new requests in order to prevent some changes in future. Like we heard in the first presentation, our colleagues were telling about the performance issues. So that is why it's very important to raise these questions at the beginning. So the risks here can be a lot of changes, especially if you will future need to make changes to your architecture. It may be very painful and can cost you a lot of money. And also scope, budget, and time creep. So the last section is communication. Let's talk about communicating with each other. Always remember that your output is always someone's input. So here in the circle, you see a business analyst and its client, their clients, yes? Our main clients are our customer and our development team. So customer may be product owner or other stakeholders, and development team will prepare requirements for them. And also colleagues from other development teams. This is very crucial for our situation. So when you create your documentation, think of those people who will then use it, and think of their needs. You can choose the level of detailization, the structure of your documents, based on what are expectations from other development teams regarding your documents. So, as for me, it's also very important if we think about business analysis job. Here I will say only this bold phrase, also very crucial in our environment, because often our customers are our colleagues. And we may think, oh, this is my friend, I won't ask him to approve my requirements. But no, don't do this. Always put a mark who and when has approved your requirements, because this way you will save yourself, you will save your project manager and your team from future conflicts. And the last tip for today is never be afraid of asking questions. Business analysts are people who have to ask a lot of questions. So that is why don't be shy, even if you think that your questions are stupid, silly, and so don't think so. Just ask everything you want to ask. And the risks, if you don't follow these tips in communication, you can face a lot of changes, or you can face conflicts with stakeholders and fall in reputation, any kind of reputation. And conclusion. My conclusion will be the following. So, as you have noticed, I didn't tell a lot about how to create requirements, how to organize them, or how to structure them, because business analysis is not only about the requirements. And the main conclusion here would be that we business analysts, we are responsible and we have power to influence the overall team result, the overall product. So it's not just about the requirements. This is like the higher topic and the higher influence and power. So, yes, this was the conclusion. And thank you.
Thank you, too.